Good afternoon, YouTube. Time for another layout update, and you can see it. This place is a mess. I'm gonna do a layout update and a little bit on the Motive Power roster. So this update, I'm getting close to being done the loop of track all the way around. On the other side, I have all the track, the mainline track done on the other side. And I have all except for one of the transitions done. This was like the most time-consuming part of laying the track, was laying down these little transitions where it's going to be separating um, the layout in the middle. But I've been using the Central Valley track system for my all my track that's going to be visible. See if we can zoom in there. And it's got really, really nice detail to it. This stuff, it's like a hybrid track in between like flex track and like hand laid track. So like basically you lay down this tie strip with like white glue or Gorilla Glue or whatever kind of glue you want. You just want a glue that's not going to swell up when it dries. You want to just kind of dry in place. So you can use whatever kind of glue. I like white glue because you can put water on it if you don't like it or if you need to change something, and then you just soak it with water until it will release the glue. But white glue also, it'll stick. It's hard. It's like as strong as literally being solid wood, one piece, whatever. And then you glue the rails down with CA glue or super glue, which is the same thing. I found out I tried gluing them down in my video on building the Central Valley turnout, and not sure where that Central Valley turnout went in this mess. It's around here somewhere. Here it is. But as you can see, this is the result of using modeling cement. I used the modeling cement, this stuff, which says cement for plastic models. I've always been impressed with this. It works great for fastening plastic to plastic. But when you're trying to glue rail down, as you can see, both of my rails for my frog fell out. And that's not really a big problem, except that they fell out. I can always glue those back down uh, with CA glue, or what do you call it? Super glue. But yep, so I've been putting down all this track. One thing that's really cool about this track is you can get different kinds of tracks. So, for example, if you're using Atlas track, like this piece here, all your track is going to look the same. It doesn't matter if you're making a branch line or a main line. And not really downing Atlas track because it is the standby, but that's not really the way it is in real life. In real life, there's different, standards for based on how much traffic you're going to have on your railroad. And this here, the black stuff, this is a scale 9-foot long tie. And if you can see, like, this is code 83 rail. I think that the profile of that is just like absolutely beautiful for a code 83 rail. It looks very prototypical, especially for like Western main lines, which is what this is going to be. This is going to be like a fictional town on the Colorado Joint Line. And then I used code 70 rail. These three engines are actually sitting on code 70 rail. Let's see if I can move these guys a little bit here. But they're sitting on code 70 rail. And this is on 8'6" mainline ties. So these ties are a scale 8'6" in length. And I glued the code 70 rail down with super glue. And the cool thing about these ties is these are more like of an Eastern mainline tie. Try to bring this thing into focus. Slow, it doesn't want to focus. But they have, I don't know if you can see it right there. Right here, they have the clasps. Like, they don't just have the spike detail. It also has the clasps that you'll see on a lot of mainline ties, where these clasps, I'm not sure exactly what they're for. But you just see them on, and they're like every fourth tie, they'll be like clasped, and they're kind of like to hold the rail in place and stuff. But also they, as you can see here, they have like built-in variations. So they're not perfect. Whereas the 9-foot ones, they're like pretty close to perfect. Like almost like they were laid by a machine. Whereas these here are more like, you know, an upgraded but old-fashioned mainline that's still running pretty good. Code 70 rail, the profile on these is really beautiful too. I really like those. And then they also make an 8-foot, a scale 8-foot branch line ties, which I'm going to be ordering for my branch line, and I'm going to be putting the Code 70 on that as well. And they're cool. The spikes aren't very high, so you can really get away with your RP25 flanges. You could probably even put Code 55 rail on here, and it would probably work fine. So there wouldn't be any problem there with that. And then the other thing, for all this track, it is perfectly in gauge, and I had not used my NMRA gauge at all, except I used it to check the frog on this switch, but it was after the fact, after I glued it in. And it's pretty much, it's all really close. So with the pre-gauging, unlike hand-laid track, if you think this is, you know, possibly might be a hard project, because it's kind of like hand-laid track, it's not that hard of a project, because these like little pre-gauged little tabs, like literally you have, this is Atlas rail, which Atlas rail fits like perfectly in the 9-foot. It's a little bit tight in the 8'6", but it still works really good. This is Micro Engineering Code 70 rail, fits really well there too. But that's what I've been doing. It's really nice. You can get like nice flowing, You can see here I'm building 2 curved turnouts, and these turnouts are really cool. Literally, all you do is you put the tie strip down, and then you glue the frog block and the stock rails in, and then you just build the rest of the turnout inside. So literally, also, if you had like some Atlas Flex track or whatever kind of flex track already glued down on your layout, you could, and you decide you want to put a turnout in there, you could easily like take your ballast up, clean it up, and then literally just pop the ties out from underneath the rails on your flex track, slide the Central Valley ties in for the turnout, and you would be able to just build the turnout right in place. You wouldn't have to like cut the rail and then move it to your workbench and build it on a template or anything like that. You could literally glue it right in place and have it work, you know, absolutely perfect. So then moving on, just show a really quick shot of the other side. It's a mess also, but not quite as a mess as this side. This is the track going off the staging. I have my tracks going around here, and that's pretty much it for that side. So